Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Bookkeeping Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Sarah. Sarah, can you introduce yourself, explain what your bookkeeping business is, and kind of the clients that you deal with?
Yeah, so I'm Sarah Kitchner and I run Olive Branch Bookkeeping. I set up in 2020, was the first iteration of the business, and I do bookkeeping, so VAT, and all of those things. I don't do annual accounts. I want to be a bookkeeper because I love it. And my clients are all independent businesses, but they span different areas. So I've got some biscuit makers, I've got some retail shops, I've got a cafe, all sorts of things.
Okay. How did you start your bookkeeping journey? What made you want to become a bookkeeper?
Well, when I was younger, I wanted to be a vet when I was
Oh,
really little. And then all of a sudden, I realised that there's no way that I'd be able to put an animal down. And just like that, I switched to I wanted to be an accountant. And it just went from there. And then when I started working in finance, I realised that it was the day-to-day element of it that I loved and enjoyed. And I didn't really understand that you could be a bookkeeper at that time. And it wasn't till I was sort of doing my AAT that I realised that was the direction I wanted to go.
fabulous. What is the one word that describes your relationship with technology at the moment?
Love, hate.
Okay. So let's talk about favourites. What's the app or software that you simply could not run your business without?
So for me, it's TickTick. It's all about task management. Um, Having everything in your head all of the time it was going to be the one thing that was going to be an issue for me. Um, and since starting the business, I've learned that I have ADHD. So that was why it was something that I really struggled with. And I've tried all sorts of different software, like Trello and Asana and all these things that they tell you are going to change your life. Because if you tell me that, I'm going to try it. um, and TickTick just worked for me. It's one that I kept coming back to, and it was very simple. You can customize, but not spend hours customizing, which suits me. So yeah, it just fit really well into how I structure my day.
Fabulous. How did you discover it? And was it a game changer from day one, or was it something that you had to really work on to make it right for you?
So I think I came across it by accident. I
Yeah.
think I was using Trello and it wasn't really working well for me. And you could have all these add-ons and, show me this shiny object and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. It's gonna change my life. And it didn't. So I think I came across TickTick because I was looking for something simple.
Yeah.
Um, and I tried it and it worked. It worked off the bat. It was really simple to set up, didn't spend hours having to do that. And it is just a very simple view and format.
Okay. So what's the key problems that it solved for you by using this app?
Having that overview of everything that I do, because as you know, with bookkeeping, we're doing lots of things, usually all at the same time. So
Yeah.
being able to see very clearly, um, what status my clients were at, what I need to do, what's coming up in the week. Yeah, it's a huge game changer.
It is. Can you talk us through how you use it in your day-to-day workflow? So what's the process? Is it something that you turn on straight away first? Is that the first app that you open?
Yeah, it is. And I have structured my day. So each client has um, their own daily task in my view. And in that are all the BAU tasks. So, the invoicing, all of the things that you do every day. So each client has their own task. It's a very simple view. It just says client name, daily tasks, and then that recurs every day. And it's the first thing I open to check that I've got meetings. It syncs with your calendar, which is fantastic. And yeah, it really is the thing that I have open all day.
Yeah, brilliant. Have you implemented any clever automations, or are there any tips when you set it up that made your life easier using this app?
This is something that I am going to investigate because I haven't so far. But they're always doing updates and they're always adding new features. So it is something that I'm going to have a look at. The only sort of automated aspect is all the recurring tasks that I have set up.
Yeah.
So all my daily tasks, all my deadlines, VAT deadlines, they're all recurring. But yeah, there's probably a lot more that it's capable of, actually.
And especially with, you say, integrates with calendar, it really helps you then
Yeah.
not sort of get overwhelmed with your day because you've got your calendar's appointments as well. That's fabulous. Has it helped you kind of save time or keep your sanity by using this app? A lot of apps do that.
Absolutely. Sanity, absolutely. Just having that clear view of what you're doing. And recently I've added in status tags as well, because I was getting a little bit overwhelmed with, have I done this? And I've done this for this client. So that's really helped.
Are there any common mistakes when using this app that people do from straight out the box? Do they jump too quickly to use it, or do they not optimize it or set it up for themselves? Because often when we get a new app, we run in like blinkered, oh, I must get out of this, but we forget to actually do the simple things that will save time in the long run. Do you think there can be common problems when using this app?
I think there can be with all of them. I think for me, it was having a real understanding of how I work and what works for me. And I think that helped me set TickTick up in the first place. There are probably people that use it, to much bigger advantage than I do. But I think with any tech, if you have a real understanding of how you work and what works for you, it makes it a lot easier to set things up.
No, that's brilliant. If you had a magic wand and you could change just one thing about it, what would you improve?
I was going to say customization, but then that's going to take me down a big hole. Um, I don't think the way I use it at the moment, there isn't anything that I can think off the top of my head that I'd improve. It's very easy to add new tasks. It's very easy to change anything, set new things up. But the more I look into automations, I can see that there'll be some things that need to change.
Would you recommend it to all bookkeepers? Do you think it's kind of a really good process for them to get everything out of their head, task-wise, and management of clients? Would you recommend it?
I would. I'd recommend it for people who are very list driven,
Yeah.
like I was, because it is a to-do list and calendar piece of software. If you're looking for high levels of automation, it might not do that. But if you're looking for an overview, simplicity, easy to use, then yeah, I definitely recommend it. It has definitely changed the way that I run my business.
Fabulous. Have you paired it with any other software to kind of supercharge it, or are you happy as a standalone app that it works what it needs to do for you?
I like to have it as a standalone app. I think I'm somebody who will get drawn into having lots of things that you're probably not using very well. So I like the fact that it's standalone and it just syncs with my calendar. Again, keeping things simple is really helpful.
Yeah, it clears your mind, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah, it
Right.
does.
Okay, apart from this app, what are your other top 3 favorite apps that you use within your business?
Apron.
Yeah.
I love Apron for my clients to send me all their invoices and receipts. Xero, I run all my bookkeeping clients through Xero. And the calendar.
Nice.
Yeah.
How often do you review your app stack? Do you review it periodically, or do you review it if you find that you have a problem to solve? What's your kind of methodology on that?
I try to do it every quarter.
Yeah.
I try not to sign up to apps for the long term because I'm somebody who will try something, and if it doesn't fit, I'll never look at it again. But yeah, so doing it every quarter keeps that in check and keeps the costs, low as well.
It does. Have you ever had a software disaster moment where things have they've said that it'll do this and it's done something else, or it's done a mind of its own? Have you had any of those kind of problems?
I think I probably did in the early days of setting up, because you're told, oh, this will help you do this and this will help you do this. And I can't remember what it was, but I had a piece of software, and it was just inexperience. It hadn't been set up properly in the first place. And it was causing me to sort of not miss deadlines, but, really push close to the deadline. But yeah, I think that was more inexperience rather than apps that were working badly.
What's your one piece of advice for bookkeepers who feel overwhelmed by all the software options out there currently? We all go to these events, we all see these bright, shiny things, and oh, this is going to solve this problem, this one. What's your one piece of advice that you would give a bookkeeper when looking at software options?
Talk to other bookkeepers about it, and talk to bookkeepers who are similar to you. Because like with my ADHD, if you tell me it's going to change my life, I'm going to try it. If you tell me this plan is going to work, I'm going to buy two, because one of them I'm not going to write in, and the other one I'll write in and then forget about. So I think really talking to your bookkeeping community about what works and getting their experiences is going to help you make your choice.
No, that's great advice. Right, we've come to the quick fire round now.
Oh,
Okay, so iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Xero, QuickBooks or Sage?
Xero.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee all the time.
What's one piece of tech or business wisdom you wish you'd learnt from the beginning?
Keep it simple. It's very easy to overcomplicate these things.
Fabulous. And finally, what app do you think is underrated and deserves a little bit more love?
TickTick, definitely.
That's
The
brilliant.
impact that it's had on my day-to-day running of the business and my sanity, it's definitely worth it.
No, that's fabulous. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. And thank you, Sarah, for being a lovely guest. Thank you.
Thank you very much.